Good morning and welcome to Monday Moments with Fran. I hope you are well. When I was studying psychology for my undergraduate, I remember we spoke about organisational change, and there was some research that has said that if there's going to be a change in an organisation, you'll have a third of people who will be really excited and really engaged with it and be really invigorated by the change. Then you'll have another third who will detest it, they can't stand it, they'll, really kind of come against it. And then you'll have a third who are in the middle and they don't really care. And I think I would put myself somewhere between love the change, but also at times can't stand the change, because change is something that can be very uncomfortable. It can be quite challenging. And so today I want to encourage those of you who may be struggling with change in whatever way. Yesterday I took a little drive to my local park I think I was doing some journaling in the park. Great thing I love to do. And the route that I normally go, they'd closed the roads off for some, street fair. So like literally the whole area was shut down, and I was a bit kind of like, well, what's going on? This is the way that I normally drive. This is my route to get where I'm going. It's the quickest route. There was a divert. And it really made me think how when we have things such as a diversion, so simple, it can actually really affect the way we think, and it can be quite distracting. Rather than just adapt to mold to the change, it can be a bit of a, oh my gosh, what's happening now? Change is absolutely a part of life, but it can be quite challenging. The way our brains are geared, it's patterns and routines. Have you ever gone somewhere and you don't know how you got there, you just turned up? It's because your brain knew the route you take, which turns you take, because it's built up this pattern. And it's a really, really healthy thing, because we couldn't function without routine and without pattern. But when it comes to change, it can also be quite challenging, because then we can come against or resist that change. I remember coming home one time and something in the kitchen had been moved into a different place, and it was like, oh my gosh, where is this thing? Change can be in the tiniest of things, or it can be in the really, really big things. But change, it's okay, and it can be a very, very good thing. When I was working with a different organisation, I'd been in the same team for about 5 years, felt so supported and nurtured and loved and knew everybody, and really, thought everything was going fine. And it was. And then we had a bit of a restructure. And I was told I'll be moving teams, moving locations, and also working in a different, part of the city in terms of what I cover. And on the outside, I was like, yeah, that's fine, embrace the change, fine, everything's moving. And then I had this dream, and in the dream I was walking across this road, and I think I was talking with somebody, and all of a sudden I just had a tantrum, like literally fell down in the middle of the road and was just screaming about not wanting to move teams. And I guess in the morning I reflected that actually maybe somewhere deep down I'm actually really, really concerned, and really not wanting to make this change, because it's out of my comfort zone. It's out of what I'm used to. I don't really understand why, but I made the change, and it was really, really successful. Great new team, great new manager, learn loads. So, change can be a wonderful thing, and once we get over the initial concerns that we may have. So today, just 3 quick areas for you to consider if you are struggling with change. The first thing is reflect over your life and think, where have I changed previously, and what's been the outcome? For the most part, you've survived the change. Even when children transition from one school to another school, that can be a really, really tough time in their life, but they manage. You've managed, you've coped with change before. So you've got to remember that you've got the skills and the resilience to cope with another change, because you're resilient. So the first point, like I said, is reflect back where you've previously had changes and you have fully embraced it and also been able to manage it. The second point is focus on all the good things that can come out of this change, rather than just the negative things or everything that might go wrong. You know, there are things that can go right and that will go right. So really think about what you focus on rather than the inconvenience, and rather than the challenge. Think about all the benefits that can come from a change. You know, if you're moving area, if you're moving house, you're moving jobs, whatever your change is, there can be so much good from that change. And the third area is fix your attitude. You know, when there's changes that happen that are beyond our circumstances or out of our control, you can only control what you think and how you feel about that circumstance. So choose to have a positive mindset. Choose to, embrace it. To be flexible and to be adaptable are really, really key skills. You know, I remember when I was doing some recruitment, and we were looking through CVs, and so many people put that, they're willing to adapt and willing to change. And on paper, it sounds great, but in reality, it's a very, very different thing. But it's definitely something that we all need to do, because the one thing that will never change is that there will always be change in different areas and spheres of your life. So if you're struggling with change, guys, be encouraged. You are well equipped, you're well able and well resourced to handle it as well. That's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day and the rest of your week goes well, and remember to go and encourage somebody else. See you later.